Good afternoon, babies, and welcome to Simply Stacy, where the joy of the Lord is our strength. Well, I want to talk about this afternoon about self-development. So many of us don't do self-development. We go out into the world, we leave our parents' home, and what people see is what they get. What they don't see is what they get. But we need to work on ourselves to be whole and healthy individuals in society so that we can be productive, that we can be an asset to people and not a liability. And a lot of us pick up people that are liabilities and not assets. Ladies, this is a major problem with us. So, you that want to have husbands in the future, in the near future, you need to learn self development of yourself so that when you come in contact with your significant other, you will know if they don't done the work on themselves. You will know if you're getting an asset or a liability to your life. A lot of you don't know that your selection process is off because you haven't done the self development on yourself. You have not matured up yourself. Immature people can't know mature people. They're not going to select mature people. But babies, begin to do the self development on yourself. Where's your mental health at? Where's your physical health at? Where's your emotional health at? Where are those three areas in your life at? Are you emotionally healthy? Are you mentally healthy? Are you physically healthy? I think I got a tongue twister right there. But we need to check on our health, our development in all three of those areas. Are you healthy? You don't want to go into a relationship unhealthy. And some of us that's up in age, we already know what that looks like. We already been a part of that situation. That's why now we find ourselves in a place right now where we're single, waiting on God, wanting a healthy relationship because we know what an unhealthy one looks like. But you're not going to be a part of a healthy relationship if you don't become healthy yourself. So you have to do the self development on yourself, emotionally, mentally, and physically. You have to do those three areas. The more that I have worked on myself and matured up and growed up, it's making a difference with my selection process. I can look at people and know that they're not going to they wouldn't be able to be my companion. It makes life easier when you do the self work, when you mature up mentally, spiritually, emotionally. It makes a difference. A lot of people are growing older physically, but mentally and emotionally, you're still a child. A child is always dependent on other people's emotional needs, somebody else's emotional health. You know this. You don't been in relationships. You don't been in relationships with people that are emotionally exhausting because their emotional health is so out of whack. They drain you of your emotional health. Mentally, they're off. Mentally, they cannot comprehend. You got to do everything. They can't comprehend for themselves. And I'm not saying this in a negative way, but you need to work on yourself. Do the self development. Do the work. If you want to be an asset to somebody else, you need to do the work. That's what people don't want to do. Relationships is work, but it begins with working on yourself. And how you're going to do that is take heed to God's word, do the things of God, allow God to work on you, grow you up. Mature people are self reliant. Are you independent? Not to say that you go to work, you work a job, and you pay your bills and all that kind of stuff. Can you mentally problem solve without arguing and fussing and getting mad, bringing in your out of order emotions? Babies, before you can be good for anybody else, you have to be good for yourself. That's why the word said, as you love yourself, love your neighbor. You can't even love your neighbor. You can't love anybody else until you love yourself. You don't even know what love is. How can you love yourself? How can you love somebody else? How can you always say, do unto others as you have them do unto you? But some of you do yourself wrong. So you can't help but to go out there and do somebody else wrong. Same thing with other people that's in your life. They do themselves wrong. So what can you expect them to do you right? You can't expect them to do you right. You have expectations of them that they can't meet. They're not even meeting it with their own self because they haven't did the self-development. Babies, do the self-development on yourself, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Do the work. Age is really nothing but a number. Chronologically, you may be one age, but your mental age may be totally different. And some of you are going through that right now with these companions that you have. Physically, they're one age, but mentally, they're not that age. And that's why you're battling. You have expectations of them that they can't even meet because mentally, they're not there. So you're looking at them like, wait a minute now, you're 40 years old, but you acted like you're 16 because mentally, they are 16. Chronologically, they're 40, but mentally, they're 16. So you got expectations of them like a 40-year-old, which is going to be unmet. They can't meet that expectation because they're not really that age. Only physically their age, chronologically their age, that age. But mentally and emotionally, they may not be that age. So your expectations is too high for them. They can't meet them. And that's why you steady fussing, arguing, got to keep telling them the same thing over and over again. One thing I learned, and I'm going to end this video. I did a message years ago at this church that I preached about being immature. And one signs of being immature is when you got to keep telling somebody the same thing over and over and over again. You know how you got to do with your kids? Stop doing that, Johnny. Stop doing that, Susie. Stop doing that. Don't do that. Stop doing that. And you don't told them 50, 11 times they continue to do the same thing. You see this with people that is over 18. You got to continue to keep telling them the same thing over and over again, but they continue to go back and do the same thing. That's a sign of immaturity. It's a sign of immaturity. Babies, I love you, and so does God. I just want to give you a quick encouraging word, quick tool that you can use for your life to help your own self mature up, to help you understand some things that's going on in your life with some of the people that's in your life. Because most people have not did the self-development. They didn't do it as a kid. They didn't do it in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. They have not done it. Some people ain't even heard of the concept. But you have to do the work on yourself. Yes, there's a lot of things you may not got from your parents. There's a lot of things that you didn't know, a lot of things you didn't learn. But now information is out here like never before. You can Google anything. Learn the keys and the steps of how to do the self-development on yourself. And I'm going to come back and revisit this topic, and I'm going to give you some key things that you can do to help move you in the direction of growing up and maturing up in the things of God and even in the natural. Some things I can put out there for you that you can go and research and study for yourself. Key things that you can use that'll be instrumental in your development that will help you mature up and not be immature. But babies, remember, do the self-development on yourself. Love yourself. That's going to be part of loving yourself. And as you love yourself, you're made to love others because you will do unto others as you do unto yourself. So if you do yourself wrong, you're going to do others wrong. It's just no getting around it. You will. Babies, I love you and so does God. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Smooches, sugar woogers. Love you.